to. Just wife to.
I like you. Keep it humble. Alright, Brit, cheers.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you, dude. First and foremost, we talked a lot about like the same stuff yesterday, like just in the car ride. But we're gonna recap all of that.
Okay, that's fine.
But the biggest thing, like first thing I like to ask the girls, like especially on this side of the border, is like, how did you even like start playing football? Because it isn't like a common thing as far as I know, especially out here on the West Coast. Yeah. Like in Texas and Florida, like I know they play more. It's more popular, like especially the flag football. But like, how did your journey start? Like, how did you start playing ball?
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of girls played powder puff in high school, so that's where I first got a taste of it. Then after that, in college, my boyfriend at the time, he played flag. He did a few tournaments at Cal Poly. They had this tournament called Barcata Sports Fest.
Bye.
But it was kind of geared towards the Filipino American community, not to like shun away from anyone else.
Not too racist.
Like, no. But they did have a rule that like 5 people out of the 7 had to be Filipino.
Really?
It was, like,
wait, did you have to show like ID, like birth certificate, or
no,
it was just like
honor?
How like chinky are your eyes? How dark is your skin?
No, but like if you're some part Filipino, like, you could play. But I mean, not everyone on the field had to be. But that was literally a rule on.
That's hilarious. I love it.
He played in a tournament up there, and so I didn't realize there was a girls division, and then that's where I saw like there was sevens contact, and I was like, oh wait, like I kind of want to play. Like it was fun in high school. So kind of me and a few other of the girlfriends of his team. We kind of started a team like back in 2012.
Back in the day.
Not even that. And then we started doing tournaments up there in Cal Poly. It's just once a year tournament. I didn't even realize there was like a whole world of it.
Yeah.
Until like my next boyfriend. But yeah, I guess ended up just being with people that played in the flag community, and then I kind of just got more involved in it.
That's awesome. Well, like when you did like get more involved, like was it like love at first sight when you started playing, or like did it kind of grow on you little by little?
Really
it's like a drug, huh?
Yeah. So like I started in sevens contact, or that was just the format that they had. And like I like the physicality of it. I don't know, just the whole team aspect.
You are very
also
aggressive. Let's say that much. If you play with Brittany, or you see her play, then somebody's getting tackled at least once again. At least one flag, at least one personal foul. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of fell in love with it, and it was addicting. So I wanted to play more of it. I was like, I didn't know there were other things like leagues and stuff that were out there. But in San Diego, there's only like co-ed. Yeah. So then I started playing in Bobby, and then definitely a game changer because I wasn't used to non-contact.
Yeah.
So getting more involved in that aspect was just like a culture shock for me, like going the other route, like kind of making myself go backwards, I guess. But yeah.
And now, what was so funny you do? Was it just like are you just like competitive by nature? Was it the sport itself? I don't know, like why football out of everything you do? Like, were you like big into NFL, or I don't know, like college football or anything, or it was just like...
I mean, I like sports in general. I like football, but growing up I was a competitive figure skater.
Oh, we're gonna get deep into that. I love that. I specifically didn't even like dig any deeper into that just because I wanted to hear that. I was like, I need to hear that full story.
Oh my gosh. So so I've always had like some sort of competitive aspect in my life, and I just switched over to flag for some reason. Like my mom still doesn't understand. She's like, how did my little figure skater turn into a flag football player? And I was like, I don't know. I felt like I kind of got good at it, so it like got addicting even more, and I'm like,
That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah. I love it when people just no matter how silly like other people might think it is, or how stupid, like whatever hobby or just thing that you get interested in, just to go like balls deep in is just I guess I forget like how like that might be offensive to people.
That's okay.
But just like when you really get involved in something, you find something you enjoy, and then just love like seeing people just like just embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
But dude, the figure skating, like Please tell me that. Like, when did you start that? How did you start that? Is this a family thing or is
no, completely random. So I was like 5 years old visiting the Philippines, like where my parents grew up. We used to go back and forth a lot. Complete fobs when I was little. Super Filipino accent.
You used to go back and forth like living or just like vacay?
Vacay with my family.
And that is not a short plane ride. Oh, God.
And not that I don't love the Philippines, but I always get eaten alive there, so that wasn't very fun for me. I almost died actually.
Why?
But that's like a whole,
mosquitoes?
I got dengue fever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
but anyway,
we'll touch on that.
So that's where I actually saw my first ice skating rink.
Okay.
One of their mega malls. They have it like in the middle of everything, and it was like interesting. I wanted to do it, and my mom was like, "No, wait till you're 7." Random number. 6 years later.
Yeah.
And like my mom literally just told me, she's like, "You remembered that you wanted to go ice skating." So when I turned 7, like I asked her if I could go. We went ice skating, and then it was just kind of a wrap after that. I started when I was 7. I went to the rink in Mira Mesa, San Diego Ice Arena. And then I trained there. I was competitive all the way up to like my sophomore year of high school before I got injured.
Did your parents like put you into this, like, okay, like you're not just skating, like you're competing, or
no,
was it just like
it was
you
all
like
me.
Really?
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know like what came over
so funny,
me,
dude.
or like because before that my mom put me in like dance, ballet, hula, whatever Filipino kid does.
Study.
Yeah, study. Make sure, you do your homework. But when I was in middle school and like my freshman year, sophomore year in high school, like I used to wake up at like 3 in the morning, train, then go to school full time. It was public school, then go to sleep at like 6:30.
And you said you went to UC, right? God, when
I had like no real like life.
No,
it involved like thrice.
Yeah. I love it though, dude. Cause I think of like how not indisciplined, not disciplined I was like in high school. Like there's no way I just didn't care enough about anything to like to be able to do that. Was that just because were you just in like such a routine? Like, this is what I do. I wake up this early and this is what I do, or is it like I really love this and the freaking I'm giving all up?
It was kind of a combination of a lot of things because I didn't think I was gonna get good at it, but I did. And I competed nationally and things like that.
Really?
We traveled a lot for it. But also I felt like maybe, like, not a lot of people where I grew up, well, Southeast San Diego, like, ice skating is, like, not really a thing.
Yeah.
Like, how did you really get into that? But my family kind of put aside time for me to do that. Not that they pushed me to do it, but it's, like, because they did that, I wanted to, like, excel in it, so it's not like a waste of them driving from Southeast San Diego,
money, energy
to Mira Mesa, waking up with me at like 3 in the morning. My mom made all my dresses. I used to sell chocolate bars, so like fun for my ice skating.
Hustling.
Like I was that kid in the grocery store, like waiting for people to come outside. It's like, hey, do you want to buy a chocolate bar for $1?
You had the Girl Scouts, or you had this little Filipino girl.
Yeah, but definitely had to work to fund ice skating because ice skating's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I imagine. That's so cool, dude. It sounds like your family just like pretty supportive in whatever you decide to do, huh? Like in life.
Well.
or maybe not.
School first, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Typical Asian family, but yeah.
That's cool. Do you have a brother and sister?
I have one older brother.
One older. Is just you two?
Yeah, just us two.
That's awesome. And then how would you? So you compete. So how long you skate from 7 till you said
like my sophomore, junior year in high school. I got injured. I broke my ankle.
Oh.
But it wasn't like.
It wasn't even skating. It
wasn't like a super like traumatic break. It was like over time. Like I got a stress fracture.
Oh really?
I didn't realize that I had a stress fracture, and I was skating on it. Like it hurt. Like after I practiced, but during practice it didn't.
Okay. And
then one day I just couldn't stand.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like, I don't know what the hell's wrong. Like my mom thought I was joking. I had a like competition that day I couldn't stand.
No way.
Yeah, it was like super dramatic, and like I started crying, and my mom's like, "No, you're competing today. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Mom, I cannot stand. I'm not joking right now."
That's crazy.
But yeah, but like after that, it was kind of like a snowball effect, and coming back wasn't the same, and then I was kind of growing, not as like figure skating body type, but yeah. Those girls are stick thin. I'm just gonna put it out there. I
was like, what's figure skater body type?
They're tiny, and they're super tiny. I mean, I'm short, but I'm not tiny.
That's hilarious. So it was just kind of like I'm just not doing it. Was that hard, like walking away from it, or just kind of like you're like, I'm done. I had fun with it.
It was really hard, actually.
Yeah.
It was like heartbreaking.
Oh god, yeah. No, I love it. It's your honesty.
Yeah, no, and then I coached for a while.
Okay.
I was not a very nice coach. I was like kind of like the drill sergeant. And,
Oh
like, I
gosh.
think I've made a few little girls cry, but
I believe it.
I mean, your parents are out there spending money for you. I'm not gonna like tell you like,
Just
oh,
coddle
that's
you.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense. What did your like practices look like, or your training look like? Like you go in, it's like 3-4 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like what is what does your training look
So,
like? A normal day.
so I would start my day maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. Get up, eat breakfast, get ready, like all my school stuff and things like that. Wake up my mom. I actually made coffee for her in the morning. She's like, Mom, I'm sorry, you have to
You're a
like
good
drive me.
daughter.
Yeah, but I think she kind of enjoyed it too. It was like kind of our time together.
That's awesome.
So driving from Southeast to Mira Mesa. As a kid, I didn't realize.
And this was every day?
Every day.
Damn.
And then on weekends, I went to Escondido for other like training stuff.
Yeah.
But like as a kid, I didn't realize how far Mira Mesa was, and like now, like realizing like my mom drove me every single day, like 3 in the morning to go to practice, and like she would watch me. She wouldn't even go to like sleep in the car. She would literally watch me practice. Also, I think it kind of helped me accountable to like not mess around during practice. For sure. Then practice for like an hour and a half.
It's like a group of you, or
no, it was just me. Well, I mean, I don't have the ice to myself. There's other actually figure skaters that come during that training time. I had to go in the morning because I was in public school. A lot of competitive figure skaters actually were like in charter school or like homeschool because that's like all they did.
Yeah.
I think my mom made it a point like, no, I still want you to like go to public school or whatever and like get your education there, like hang out with people other than like home and skating. So I actually was really thankful for that because some figure skaters are a little weird.
So that's it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like,
basically it.
I think like any traditional like Olympic athlete do, like you just invest like all your time and energy into the sport, like your entire life since you're freaking like 5 years old.
Yeah, so like even my coach was saying like, you know, like you're getting into like a higher level, like maybe you need to like go into homeschool or charter school. It's like, well, this is like the only time I see actually people my age that I get to like play with or like hang out with. Like I didn't get to hang out with people after school and like high school. Like I didn't go to parties.
Really?
No, like my bedtime was 6:30.
Really?
Yeah. So
Damn.
so I would do that, train, go to school, whatever. Go home, had to do my homework right away, then just like knock out, then next day.
And that was pretty much all the way up until junior year?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What was that? Or I mean, you said it was tough, like stopping skating itself. But what was the transition like when you did have like more like free time? I guess, like, or I don't know if you just filled it with other things.
That was kind of a blur. I don't know. Like it was kind of weird because it was like kind of like, oh well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Like that was so much of my time, so much of my like, I was like dedicated.
That was your life.
Yeah. And then I think coaching helped because I was still around it.
Yeah.
I still had people that I hung out with in like the skating world, and then I did shows like local ones, and they still do them like every year, like the outdoor ice skating rink.
In downtown.
It used to be in downtown. Now it's at Liberty Station.
Oh really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then working like YMCA camps for ice skating, coaching, and then I started working at the downtown ice rink. So I was still involved in like that
In the
skating
world.
aspect, but I wasn't competitive anymore. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so that's high school. You finished up high school. What does Brittany's life look like after you graduate? You said you went to state, right?
Yes.
What'd you study?
I studied kinesiology. At first, I wanted to do athletic training just because I was just so involved in sports, and I thought that's like.
What's the difference? Just because I just don't know. Like
I guess in a nutshell, you would see an athletic trainer, like on the field. Well, in my like what I wanted to do was like be that athletic trainer like on the field or like after you do your game and things like that for a sports team.
Yeah.
But now like athletic training has evolved to like functional training and like almost like strength and conditioning also.
Yeah.
But I got more involved in like the physical therapy aspect, and I feel like athletic training and physical therapy have like kind of mixed a little bit. But with physical therapy, you have all these other like it's a big umbrella. So you have like people you work with that are like the older populations, geriatrics.
Yeah.
You can work with kids, just people right after surgery, and literally like what I love doing right now, or like it feels like really cool, is like I teach people how to walk again.
That's so crazy.
So it's like a crazy feeling, but it's like I love doing it. It's like hard sometimes because like people get frustrated.
Yeah, you get frustrated.
I get frustrated. But it's like a lot of problem solving too. So.
And what wasn't when you first or you're out of high school, like was that like the thought, like I want to help people, or like what was even like led you down that path? I want to be around sports, or
I always wanted to do something like with physical activity.
Okay.
So when I was little, I started with dance, then I went to ice skating. But yeah, it's always been involved in my life. I don't know how that happened for me. Really, it just kind of did, and like I just couldn't stop like not being around it. And like physical activity, exercise, whatever you do, like it like just helps everyone in the long run in general. So it's like, why not help other people do it?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's a great mindset to have. Like I said, dude, like you sound like way more mature and like self-aware as far as like what you want to do and how you want to do it than even I am to this day. No, so that's awesome. And
oh my gosh.
Sandy will say you go through, you finish your degree, and it's like, what's the process like getting a job afterwards? Like I don't know if you you know people intern. Yeah.
It sucked because it's like.
I assume it's like a highly competitive field, no? As far as like getting jobs.
Yes, and then also like before I graduated, it used to be just a bachelor's was like you could be a physical therapist.
Yeah.
Now I moved on to a master's, and right now currently it's a doctorate. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's like,
all the shit
well, fuck, like what am I gonna do now? So like I'm sitting here with the bachelor's in kines, and I'm just like, well, I can apply to be a physical therapist tech or aide or whatever.
Yeah.
You get like $12 per hour, barely benefits and things like that. So I did that because it also helps me apply for PT school because I need the hours, observation hours or whatever, so it looks good on my application. I actually ended up doing that for like the next 5 years after college. Yeah, I loved it. Not that I didn't get like great experience from it, like building like relationships and things like that with
it was tough.
PTs and patients and things like that. But like I was making $12 an hour.
$12, guys.
Like, bro, like what am I gonna do with that? Like I can't live.
Were you living at home right now with your parents? I'm assuming, or because I know $12 an hour is tough to live anywhere in San Diego.
I was, and then I was with like my boyfriend.
Oh, okay, all right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Being so busy with everything on that same subject, like was it tough like having relationships? I don't know if you dated at all in high school and college. You seemed like so focused on like other things, or like just like your school or work or athletic interests or whatever. Like was it tough like having relationships? Did you have relationships? Or obviously you did, but I don't know. Like,
in ice skating, no.
Okay.
When I was competitive, no way.
Like didn't even think like you weren't even interested, or it was just like
in high school you just after 9 o'clock you have like those phone calls or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I didn't do this so much because I was like, well, this is what I want to do. I can't really talk to people. Yeah. Not like I can talk to my friends, but like they get it. But like a guy, like they wouldn't get it. But
Yeah.
then in college, I kind of dating. It kind of just like whoever I was in like the group with, we kind of just that's who I kind of talked to.
Yeah.
Or ended up talking to. Then my last ex, it was like weird. Like we just ran into each other a few times, and then yeah.
So went from there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty much, and then dating now is just like. I don't know. Like I don't even know what it means now. So
it's
like
tough, dude. Like I think I started dating my wife when I was 18, so it's freaking like what, it's like 12 years, 13 years we've been together. So it's like I can't even imagine like ending that and like starting all over like dating.
Yeah, thanks.
Like it seems.
Thanks.
no. But it just sounds tough, dude. It's like you have to put yourself out there. You have to meet new people like every time you do it. So.
And now I'm tired. Like I don't I don't have any energy for it anymore. It's just like people ask dumb questions sometimes, and I'm just like impatient. Before it's like, oh, it's all fun and it's new, and like, no, I'd rather sleep.
I get it, man. And I mean, being an attractive young lady, like I assume, but no. There's no like not weird way to say that, but I mean, see, you have a bunch of guys like hit you up or just randomly, so it's like you don't know like how. I don't know how you sift through it, like as a woman. It just seems like rough for me. I don't know.
Oh gosh. I don't even know how to explain it. Cause sometimes I'll see a message and then I'm just like, not like I don't have a response for it because people come up with the weirdest things sometimes. But going back to what you were saying, like balancing everything out when I had a relationship, like for the most part, the guys that I was with at the time, they're understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
they're
key.
Supportive, yeah.
That's awesome. What do you think things you took or like the whole experience you had figure skating and all that, like what kind of lessons or life models or just like anything you took from that life or those experiences that you apply, that you've carried on to like the rest of your life, like just that's made you better, I guess, or worse, I don't know.
Better or worse? Time management, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I if I wanted to have something done, like, just make sure that, you set aside time for that, but, like, don't forget other things either. Like, from skating to school, then doing my homework, and then doing it back in, kind of like, I don't want to say I'm, like, a rigid schedule, but, like, keeping things organized really helped me with everything, like.
Are you super, like, organized, crazy, like a itinerary?
I wish I brought my like planner.
Oh gosh! Okay.
I have a planner that I write. Like I don't put anything on my phone to schedule anything. I have to write things out. I highlight things.
Really?
And like color, low key OCD.
God, you must have been an amazing student. I just imagine.
I have people that like read my notes from school. They're like,
really?
Whoa. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, definitely staying organized and like now, like, being, like, trying to organize my women's flag football team and then doing the USA team and then the co-ed teams. It kind of, like, sounds overwhelming, but, like, it's fun for me. So when things are fun for me, like, I want to be able to put, like, 100% into it, so I have to be organized.
Yeah. No, that's a great trait to have, dude. Yeah. It's great to have you, it's great to have someone who, especially like you, who enjoys doing it, because if not, then you have, like, then it's just a mess.
Oh my god, like doing emails for my women's team, like they're so organized. It's like color coded, like this is where we're gonna be, and like
I love
this is the times of our games, and this is whatever.
Here's paid parking, here's free parking.
Yeah, like this is X, Y, and Z. You have to like pay. I have Google Sheets of like everything,
really?
Like, phone numbers, like who's coming in, what time.
God,
I'm weird.
I love you. No, I love you. I'm jealous. That's a perfect segue. Like, we'll move on from college and all that and like work. But like, how did like your initial interest in flag football? We touched on that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did that escalate to you? Like you said, like organizing a team, putting in your own team for leagues, playing with the different USA teams and things like that. Like, how? I just want to know like how it went from like, oh, that seems like a fun sport to like just like I'm doing it all.
So it kind of like just from putting into the that first tournament, like the Filipino tournament, from there kind of evolved into like my next relationship, where I saw that he was more involved with a lot more leagues outside of.
So you got exposed to the whole world then, huh?
Yeah, kind of like the Vegas tournaments that used to be big here, with like Flag Mag or what's the other one?
Air it out.
MCFF.
Yeah.
They used to have big tournaments here.
That's what I've heard. I think that was before my time. Like I have
No way.
No, like before my time playing.
Oh. Like, wait.
No, I'm sure you're younger than me. But like, but yeah, like I started playing like later on. So it was like, but I've heard like
and then,
there's
like
crazy tournaments.
even Buddy Bowl and like Pendleton.
That's a Pendleton, right?
Yeah,
I
like
played
they
there 1
had
year.
girls, like a girls division too. I'm
Oh
like,
really?
Crap! Like what am I
Who's
doing?
that?
Like, this has been here this whole time. So like it kind of my like last relationship, he helped me kind of coach those girls and like got more involved. We like our last tournament together was the MCFFU one, and it was like great.
Vegas?
No, here in San Diego.
Here. Okay.
Yeah, we were under a different name. But then that's how I got exposed to the LA teams, the PAC, She Unit, and kind of like network from there. And then.
And are you someone who like in the community like that you go out of your way to like reach out to people, or do like people reach out to you as far as like, hey, can I play a tournament, or like, because some people are like, I think we talked about this yesterday too. Mm-hmm. But some people are like just like shy to even like put stuff out there to go play with random people or to talk to random people. It's like it's intimidating. Or you're just like, yeah, F it, man. Like I just want to have a good time. Like I'm gonna do it.
I think with the like women's division or like women's flag community in general, like it's so, especially on the West Coast, like there's not a lot for us to like put ourselves out there. Yeah. So it's like we almost kind of like combine together. Like the captain for She Unit, Jonah, like she reached out to me. Didn't think she was going to at all, but yeah, she's actually really great. I feel like she gets everyone together. So
really?
Like, from her, like she reached out to me first. I didn't even know.
I've seen her play, but I don't know her. Like I don't think I've ever talked to her or anything.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely brought me into more of the women's flag world. She like always contacted me like, hey, can you put in your team? Like after that MCFFU tournament here in San Diego, she's like, hey, can you put your team in here or whatever? And I was like, fudge, like there's a revolving door in the girls on my team, so it was like hard to get everyone together.
How do you even get people like in like to begin with? Because I'm like, is there anywhere you scout? Is it just like,
it's
hey,
so tough.
You got mean girls and like, hey, you want to play football?
No. So it started off with the core group from my ex's girlfriend.
Like friends, girlfriend, yeah.
And then we became close, and then there was kind of like a small group of us that kept playing. And then we kept playing with other teams, like co-ed Bobby and stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, do you guys want to do like this all-girls thing? They have no idea what I'm talking about or what they're getting themselves into. So, and then like my last ex, like he had his buddies' girlfriends. I'm like, hey, do you want to work out? Like it's kind of like a workout, but it's for flag football.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I got them hooked apparently. So
that's awesome.
But yeah,
you're like a gateway drug.
That's cool. I like that. And then like the girls that I have now, kind of started from going back to putting in a team for co-ed, because after being a captain for a long time and organizing things, I got kind of burnt out.
You get burnt out, dude.
And I was like, okay, I'm tired of people not responding, tired of people not paying, like.
100%. I hear you.
So, which, by the way, I owe you money. But yeah, so like I started just wanting to play, and then I was like, you know what, I kind of want to put on my own team. It's been a while. Last year I put on my own co-ed team for Bobby, and then
so you took like a little break of like doing stuff, and
I was just fucking around playing.
Yeah.
And then like I talked to Stewie, and then he's like, hey, I have these two girls that want to play. That's how I met Dee and Ariel.
Okay. They're cool chicks.
They're so awesome.
Yeah.
And then now they're like super addicted because they didn't know like there's this whole other world for flag either. I was like, yes, God, like these girls get it. So it's hard to like find girls that like they love to play, but like also want to commit to it. Because like a lot of girls in San Diego are actually really, really good, but they don't want to commit to like traveling that kind of, I thought it fell off, but then she hit me back in and was like, hey, there's this other team that is putting in their team, but they just need a few more girls. I was like, fuck it, I'm down. Like, I wanted to play, but I mean, if I didn't have, like, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to just put in a team and just bullshit. Like, I
you want to take it serious.
Yeah, like, I don't want to, like, just go in there and kind of embarrass myself.
Like, you're really competitive.
A little
bit.
So, I ended up jumping on Cali Fire, and I think they've had their team for a while, but the team that they put in for Battle LA was kind of a mix of girls that, like, 2 girls played together here and there, and then these 2 girls played, but we didn't all play together. Like,
you said they were from Fresno area, right? Or from North Clover? So around there.
Fresno
or Chino?
I don't know.
Right. Just not from San Diego.
No, not from San Diego. Sorry. They're awesome girls. But, so me and Lo, I was like, hey, like, Lo, do you want to go up? And I was like, yeah, let's
Hey, you know her?
Lo?
Yeah, she's a baller.
Through flag football.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. A lot of my friends now are through flag.
It's funny how that happens, huh?
Yeah,
it's like,
crazy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, a bunch of people I talk to is like, dude, like, think of how, I always ask, like how after playing, like, for 20 years or however long you've been playing, like, what keeps you into it? And the most common answer I get is, like, dude, the relationships, like, these tend to be, like, the people you spend the most time with, your
For
closest
sure,
friends.
yeah.
It's funny how that transforms.
Yeah, so it's like, when I met her, she was brought on from a friend of a friend, and I was like, she's freaking baller. Like, I didn't even know.
Nice.
Yeah. And so she kind of just stuck with it, and I was like, all right, well, if you're gonna stay around, like, everyone just got kind of close, like, over the years. So yeah. So we ended up going to LA for that. And
was that weird playing with people you didn't know, or had you done it before? I was like, whatever.
I was kind of excited.
Oh, really?
Just like, I didn't have to organize anything.
Oh, that's so nice. You just gotta
play.
show up, yeah. Who do I give my money to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, show me where to go, I'll do it. Just tell me what to do. And, like, for me, I feel like whatever position I am placed in, I just want to be good at that. Like, if you tell me to do something, I'm going to do my best at it.
Yeah.
So they told me to rush to play DN. And I was just like, all right, whatever. It was kind of, I don't want to say a shit show, but it's because, like, I feel like in defense you have to have some aspect of cohesiveness and knowing people.
And it's hard, dude.
And it's like, I barely know your name right now, so like I can't really call for you. So we were kind of just switching it up, just trying to figure out, like, in the first pole play, I'm trying to figure out, like, hey, what's gonna work for the team right now, even though, like, we don't know each other, so we're just trying to move the puzzle pieces, just figure it out. And then I just ended up on DN, and I was like, it's fun. Like, I haven't not rushed before, but I think the next day it was like playoffs, and we're playing against the pack, and I was at linebacker, and then they put me at rush, and I was like, well, okay, whatever, fuck it. And I ended up being really good at it. The center.
Yeah, because you're very aggressive. You're like a little bulldog. Give me that sack.
So, like, we only had 2 people rushing for our team. I wasn't calling defense. But
this was 7 or
8.
8. Okay.
I would rush at least 3.
Alright.
So yeah, they were only rushing 2. And I think it was also personnel kind of thing. Like,
yeah, definitely.
People to rush, really. And the center for the pack was like, I need help on this side. I didn't realize she was pointing at me. And so, like, they started double teaming me, and I thought it was just so funny, because it's like, the other girl who's rushing is probably like 5'10" or something. Like, I'm 5'2". Like, I'm dangling off your seat here, okay? It's like, I don't know how to sit down right now. But yeah, so they ended up double teaming me on my side every single time. We're like putting a new, like, lineman.
Really?
There. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting a sack, so.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely rushing, the physical part of it is like a lot of fun. And being able to get a sack is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize that the person that was hosting it was like a huge women's flag football network person, or that's his thing, women's flag football network. Then he like introduced himself to me at the field, and I have like
nice.
no idea who he is. I was like, cool,
hey.
you're just taking pictures. Like, I don't know who you are, but okay. And then he actually found me on Facebook and told me like, hey, he has this USA team. If I'm interested, he wants me to give him a call, and so let's talk about it. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was like showing like Lo and Haley like, do you think this is like legit?
Playing catfish.
I don't know what this is. Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
USA team? Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, first, like, I'm just getting exposed to like Vegas tournaments, LA tournaments, and like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm showing up. So we have a phone call conversation.
So was all this like recent? Like when you did start like?
This is all since last September.
Oh,
so
really?
It kind of just snowballed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like over the years you just started little by little, but no, it was just like pretty much from nothing to everything.
Yeah. So it started from like the Filipino tournament to like the MCFFU tournaments, and then now I'm here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just took a while. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah, so he and I had a phone conversation, and he's like, this is like my objective. I have a group of girls that are like competitive, and they're from everywhere in the United States, and we want to expose women's flag everywhere, especially internationally. And I feel like it's a lot bigger internationally than it is here.
Yeah.
It's crazy big.
Yeah.
But the what do you call it? The catch is I have to like pay for myself. It's not something that we're sponsored.
Yeah.
And
Which is fair. I mean, whatever.
Like no one really like, fuck is women's flag football,
Yeah.
you know? Like who does that? And so I was like, you know what? Like I really like it. I love playing. I love the whole like team aspect and like building relationships. And I was like, yeah, why not? Like now, like being out of school and being in my job now, like I can fund myself for it, so it wasn't a problem. Maybe back then, $12 an hour.
Yeah. That's why it took a little time. That's how life works out.
Kind of fell into place, and I was just like, yeah, definitely, I'll do it, and kind of just went from there.
And you freaking ended up Texcoco.
Yeah.
What's the story about with the Women's Flag Football Network thing? Is it just like his like personal project? I don't know. Is this, or I don't know as much as you know.
As far as I know, I mean, there is a USA Nationals team already, and I feel like he felt a need to make his own team. I don't know the whole story behind it, but he just, in general, just wants to expose women's flag in the best way that he can, and he has like I don't know, like. But I just believe him when he says this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna like hopefully turn women's flag into an Olympic sport.
Yeah,
and I was like,
no.
hell yeah, I want to be a part of that.
No, I agree that that's one of the big projects that Sylvia has. Like she really wants to make it or help make it like Olympic sport. And like I'm so surprised that it isn't. I mean, with all the tournament stuff and all the interest.
I heard breakdancing is an Olympic sport.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And maybe that's what we should be doing. Start digging into that. Okay, but with you got linked up with that. You talked about what's his name?
Norman.
Norman. Okay.
Yes.
Got linked up with Norman, and you're like, that's man, yeah, I'll pay my flight. And then you land in Mexico City. Like, what was that experience like? Like, just that whole tournament, that whole weekend, or I don't know how long you were there.
So I guess like going into like different places into like a different group, I get pretty nervous.
Yeah, because once again, you didn't know anyone, right?
No, I didn't know anyone.
But I love that you just put yourself out there.
It's kind of scary.
I imagine.
But like Jonah was one of the other girls that is on the USA team.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like, okay,
So
I at least
did you
know
fly
one
with her?
person. No, she flew
okay.
from LA. I think I was the only one that flew from TJ. Like I went through CBX.
Oh, nice.
Did it that
Smart.
way. Yeah. It's a long walk, by the way.
I've never walked across that bridge. Is this pretty low?
It's pretty long. I was just like, okay, when am I gonna get there? It was nice and air
Mexico
conditioned.
yet?
It was nice and air conditioned, so it was fine. But yeah, I was like, if I know one person, I know her and I know Norman.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up meeting like people like I've never seen before, and like cause he kind of made a group like, hey, these are the girls that are arriving at this time. This is a group.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, like, when you got to the airport, you guys met up, or you met with someone.
Yeah, and then I was just like, I don't even know who I'm looking for. And so like we have our group chat, and like I'm wearing this, and we're by this store, by this like restaurant, and I was like, all right, just looking who's wearing this outfit, kind of thing.
Who looks American?
Basically. But yeah, and it ended up being great. We stayed in like an Airbnb.
Was it in Texcoco, or was it like out in the in Mexico City, or like some random spot?
I think it was considered Texcoco.
Okay.
Yeah. And like the woman that owned the house, she like made breakfast and stuff.
Oh, really?
And dinner for us. She was
nice.
awesome. So good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I think it was like her nephew or whatever like would drive us from the house to the field.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a big van.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, all right, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, that makes it easier, way easier. You don't have to deal with like figuring yourself out, like get abducted out there.
Oh my god! Now I just remember because getting from the airport to the house was supposed to be like 20 minutes, like from the city to Texcoco.
Yeah.
It ended up being like 4 hours, and we were just like almost like
traffic or
1 or 2 o'clock in the morning getting back to the house. Yeah, and we played that same day. And I was just like, what is going on? I guess there was like a march or a protest going on.
Oh.
And so we were stuck in traffic, and we're just like, we're sitting there and we see a store, and there's like beer. So someone makes a run for beer, and we're just sitting there like, there's nothing else to do right now.
So drinking.
So I was like, so where are you from? Kind of thing.
Did you initiate it?
No, not initially. I guess I initiated the drinking part. Yeah, so it's kind of getting to know people that way. It was kind of a funny, like, bonding experience, but also we're all exhausted from, like, traveling, and then now we're sitting in a car for, like, 4 hours. I might be over-exaggerating. It might have been, like, 3.
No, that's still way too much.
It was so long. We get there. We were supposed to get there in time, so we had, like, a practice before, like, we actually played with each other. None of us have played together.
That's crazy.
So, like, there's a girl from New York, there's, like, a couple girls from LA, then I'm from San Diego, and then I think there's Idaho, Chicago, where else? Texas, everywhere. Never played with any of them, never met them, and it was just, like, interesting. I was like, well, we all know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now we have to figure out how we do it together. So we missed, the girls that came in at my group, we missed practice. Like, we didn't get to do, like, a walkthrough or anything like that. So in the morning when I woke up, I was like, I don't know you.
And you guys played that next morning?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. So we tried to get to the field, kind of just figure it out that way. It was kind of a huge culture shock also because a lot of us played 8s contact and there was a 7s non-contact. And yeah, but like
it's a different game for sure.
Definitely different game. But just the whole atmosphere in Texcoco was so amazing.
Yeah, man.
I loved it and I want to go back. But it's like you see all these different ages, boys and girls, like I don't even know how old, like
children out
5?
there. Yeah,
maybe?
man. They start young.
5, middle school, high school, and all the way up to like our age, and just like, how is our community in San Diego not like this?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that it's so like involved in their life, and I was like, I want this here. It's so cool.
I tell everyone that I wish that they could experience like, especially the November, the 7-man, the Texcoco tournament, because they did the 5-man in April. But yeah, dude, like that's the biggest tournament. I've been to a lot of tournaments in the States or in random places, but that's the biggest thing that I can imagine. Like just getting that experience.
So good.
Yeah, man, they ball out.
I barely
Guys,
see
women,
drop a ball.
yeah, they ball out.
I'm just like, I drop passes every time. I am not a great receiver at all. Defense, that's not catching the ball. Not very consistent. But like literally, I just like, huh? Everyone's a quarterback. Everyone can pass. I'm just like. It's so, like, fun to watch them.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, they start playing at freaking 5 years old.
Yeah.
It is, like, their life.
Yeah, it was so cool. And it's, like, a huge crowd, too. Like, there's so many fans. I'm just like, how come we can't get fans out here?
Yeah, I know,
so cool.
We're playing at a lonely field on Sunday.
It's just, like, the significant others that show up.
Sometimes. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like probably the biggest crowd I've ever seen, and
Yeah, it's
like
ridiculous.
everyone was so nice, and it's like, oh,
That's-
let's like take pictures, and I was
That's
like,
awesome.
oh,
I was gonna
that's
ask
so
you,
cool.
yeah.
You don't even know who I am. You want to take a picture with me? I'm like, no one. They're so cute.
What was your? Yeah, and no, going back to that, I was like, I really want everyone like to be able to experience that. Dude. Everyone who plays ball, everyone who enjoys it, like just be able to see that. That's why I try to invite everyone out there. I try to invite as many people as I can to Mexico, just because it's a different world. I mean, Sui's been down there a couple times. He's seen like the bigger tournament things like that. He loves it. But yeah, dude, I just wish everyone could check it out.
Yeah.
Just see it, just because I mean, you can see videos, you see pictures, but unless you're down there, then you know.
Yeah,
You
no,
get
like I
that
tried to take like a whole like pan video thing. I was like,
Didn't
nah.
even read it. Didn't do it justice.
It's like, cause it's like the field, then there's the crowd that's like right up against the line.
Yeah.
But it's like a big crowd after that.
Yep.
It's like a big, and it's all around the field, and it's not just one side. It's like the whole thing. I'm just like, holy crap! Like, how many people are here?
Yeah.
Because I know it's like more than like 100 teams.
Yeah, literally more than 100 teams. I think.
And they're not just all from there. Like.
All over the
Yeah.
country.
It's
Even
so awesome.
Even teams from like Panama come up, Honduras. It's crazy. Dude. I love it. It's a great atmosphere.
Definitely.
What? Yeah, it's I'm trying to think like how, like what do you think makes it so different? Like why is it so appealing there? Like even though like football, like American football is so popular here, like what makes it different? Like why is flag football so popular in Mexico? Like why not here? Like what border have they crossed, or like what have they done differently that makes it so appealing, like for kids, for women, for everybody, that we haven't done here?
I feel like they have made it like more of an opportunity and more opportunities to play out there. I feel like because we don't have even like leagues for women here.
Yeah.
Like there aren't tournaments for women in San Diego. Barely in California. Like there's few here and there throughout the year, but like I feel like they have it like all the time, and it's way bigger, and it's like I don't know, like how they advertise or how like they like, hey, just play flag, you know, like I don't know, maybe it's just because they start from a young age and it's just evolved from there. Because I know like kids in Mexico have like scholarships for flag football now. Yeah,
dude. A lot of the biggest universities, like they all give scholarships just for the flag team.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Where is this here? Like, I would totally like enter that, but you know, like I think they hold more chances and opportunities to do that versus here. It's kind of just like recreational.
Yeah, it's such a trip. I'm saying like football's so big here, like you would think that'd be more popular.
Yeah, and like traveling to Germany, it's also huge there. Like
oh damn, I completely forgot about that one because that's something that I haven't. I've been around a lot, but I haven't gone to that tournament.
Yeah, Europe, it's huge there too. Like there's teams from Russia, Turkey, England. I'm just like how is this not an Olympic sport? Like everyone has it or is playing it at least, and they have a team to put out there.
How'd you end up on that trip? Was it just like continuing with Norman, or
continuing with Norman? So he actually kind of puts out a schedule for the year. Like this is the tournaments and the countries and the formats, and if you can do it, like there's like a whole group of us. So if you can do it, he kind of pulls from that group.
Okay.
Great. If you can't, go to the next one.
Yeah.
Essentially. But yeah, traveling to Germany was just like so cool. Like I've never been to Europe either, so it was like flag brought me to like different places too. So I'm just like, now I'm like completely addicted. Like, where am I gonna go next? But yeah,
and you got to play with some of the best girls in the world. I mean.
Yeah. They're so cool. Like even just watching my own team, I'm just like, wow, they're like really cool. How am I on
you guys
this
are really
team?
good.
I don't even understand how I got picked to be on this team. Like I don't get it because they're so like athletic and they just like. I don't know, just watching it was really cool. Like, I was totally, like, fangirling.
I love that you got to have that experience. I get really excited for you.
But yeah, Germany was fives. It was run really cool. Like, here, like, I feel like if you're on different fields, you have different, like, you start time, kind of, it's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
Germany was all the same. Like, there's 6 different fields. There's, like, one announcer. And he's like, this is the start time. If you don't start, then you're forfeiting. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like Germany.
So it's like literally like a guy on like a megaphone or speaker or whatever. He's like counting down like from 10.
Oh, was he speaking in German?
No.
Oh, I did. I was hoping it sounded very aggressive over the mic.
So like literally everyone's setting up like, and everyone's counting down, and like whoever's starting on offense is like already like about to snap.
Really?
And he's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, not that fast, but like 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Snap the ball.
Really?
Start of the game. Every single field starts at the same time.
That's crazy.
Halftime's at the same time. Like 2-minute warning, same time.
Damn, so they are extremely punctual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love
and
it.
it's like essentially you're like beating the clock to score.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's no timeouts or anything.
Oh,
like that.
really?
Yeah,
It
it was
just
just
runs
like
the whole time.
It was really cool. It was like stressful, but like I like the efficiency.
Yeah, yeah. Especially for you, someone who's so organized and you're out with the planner, like, all right, guys, we gotta do this.
It was actually really interesting because like here, or I feel like everywhere else, you're running like 15, 30 minutes behind. Something's happening. There's a call. Even if there's like a penalty, the clock's still running. Like, yeah, Germany was really cool.
Yeah, man. And was that more comfortable, like, as a trip? After you already went to Mexico, you like Germany was like, oh, we're gonna do this all over again, but it's just
Yes. So like a few of the girls that went to Mexico went to Germany as well. So I was like, this is like gonna be way more fun.
Yeah.
So definitely building a lot more relationships through that team and like meeting new people, and I don't know, it's just really awesome.
That's cool. What's the next tournament you guys have planned, or that you guys are organizing?
For the USA team, they have one coming up in Brazil, but I'm not gonna go to that one. Kind of sad, but I'm traveling somewhere else, so it's okay.
Where else are you going?
Barbados.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Vacation or?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Like, actually not playing flag football.
Oh.
Just visiting my best friend out there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And then the next one I'm actually doing for the USA team is going to be in Bahamas.
Oh, that's awesome.
AIDS contact.
Oh, that sounds rough. That sounds scary.
There's some bigger women out there.
But I mean, we talked a lot about football, but dude, like, what else? What else do you do? Like, what does Brittany's day look like? What does your week look like? I don't know. What are you working on right now? Is like personal goals? Are you just working on freaking like? Are you just like working? Are you just stay busy with that?
I feel like I work to play flag, but I also love my work.
Yeah.
Or like I work to travel or like do other things. So I'm a physical therapist assistant right now. I work in home health, which like I travel or drive to people's homes and I do physical therapy with them there in their homes. It was kind of weird at first. But I feel like now it's like kind of overlapping with flag. Like I'm meeting new people, I'm working with them, and it's like you build relationships. So. And
I mean, just the constant exposure to that awkwardness, like, just makes you better. I'm saying, like this, like, just me having to talk to random people, like, every time, like, I mean, you have to sack up, or you have to learn how to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I guess growing up, I didn't realize how shy I was until, like, I started coaching. So coaching actually brought me out of that shell.
Really?
Now.
I can never imagine you shy.
Yeah, a lot of people can't. I'm actually more of an introvert.
Yeah.
But yeah, so doing that, it's actually awesome because I get to build my own schedule. Like I schedule with my patients directly. I'm usually doing that throughout the day, and then I have to like do progress notes for that, and then co-ed leagues throughout the week, and then now I'm starting back up my women's team, Blitz. We're gonna plan to do a tournament in LA in August.
Okay.
AIDS contact.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah, so my goal right now is to like get my girls in San Diego more exposed to other tournaments and like just flag in general outside of San Diego because it's way bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like the hardest thing is keeping them motivated because right now we're taking a lot of L's. And I'm just like, it's new.
It's part of it. It's part of it. You gotta take your L's.
Yeah. So, we're a new team. Like, our quarterback right now, she's amazing, but she's never played flag football in her life.
Oh, really?
Or, like, football in general. Like, she's an amazing
I was gonna say, like, how'd you get her to play quarterback? Or, like, why her to play quarterback?
So, Larry, gosh, why can't I remember his last name right now? Larry from 8 he used to be like a really awesome quarterback, but he doesn't have a quarterback anymore.
Larry from where?
He did 8-man a lot.
Oh, Larry from AIDS. I thought you said Larry from AIDS. I was like, what? I was like, oh, I'm not Larry.
Why can't I remember his last name right now? But Larry, he helped coach my team a while ago, and he knew that I was looking for a quarterback, and he's like, hey, I know this girl, she's like really awesome. And I was like, no idea who she is.
Yeah. No, it's story of your life.
Running story.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I just hit her up. I was like, hey, I'm starting my girls team practice, and I want to do this tournament. Are you available? And then kind of just went from there. She's awesome. And then San Diego's so kind of small, so a few of my girls, like Ariel, she knew her.
Oh, really?
But they didn't know that they played flag football,
yeah.
so it was just like bringing everyone together.
I love it.
So it was awesome. But yeah, definitely trying to keep the girls that I have now motivated and to stick with it is tough, but I think most of them like it, so.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like,
Yeah.
what's the vibe do you get? Like, a lot of people or a lot of the girls like sold out, like they're into it, or like wishy-washy, or.
I think most of them are. I think the toughest part is line.
Yeah.
Especially
No,
for eights.
Yeah.
For eights contact, like it's so tough, and it's like the biggest job in eights contact.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, I feel like a lot of girls, or just in general, like they see the glory in being a receiver or a DB and things like that, and being on the line is not important, but it's like the most important.
No, I agree.
So kind of telling my linemen, like, you know, like, you're here, this is your job. Like, if we don't have you, we don't have a play. Or if we don't have you, like, defense can't do their job, you know? So, I think they're starting to get it, the girls that I have now. Like Michelle, Aaron's wife, or Red's wife. No one knows it by Aaron. Red's wife. She was, like, really hesitant to join because she didn't think she was, like, athletic enough or whatever. And I was like, girl, you work out, like, it's fine. You don't have to be, like, some person that ran track, like, back in the day or anything like that. I'm a figure skater. Like, I don't know.
Ankle.
Yes, basically. Like, a lot of the girls that never played before never played a sport. Or, like, if they did, it wasn't.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know what, just try it. If you don't like it, fine, but just try it. So, like, she says I tricked her into it because it's like a workout.
Peer pressure, man.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so now she's addicted and she's like playing on other teams and like I have her playing co-ed now on a different day.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah, and she's like, I want to do better. And I was like, yes, I have one at least. So yeah.
I love your guys' enthusiasm doing your support. Like when I saw you guys out like supporting the whole church money thing or just getting involved with that. Like that's so outside even the football stuff, but that's just so it's so huge. Like having outside support from friends or significant other, from family, of just like of doing anything that you're doing in life. Like that just feels good to know that someone out there like cheering for you or like egging you on or just wants to see you do good. That's willing to freaking drive out to God knows where to fly out to this tournament, this and that.
Yeah.
So I really like I appreciate you guys. You did it for them. I was like, thank you for being there for me. But yeah, it's so cool. It's a beautiful thing to see.
I think now it's kind of really cool because like it's evolving even more because like all the girlfriends from like Church's Money girls or like girlfriends of the guys from my ex's team, like we're all still like kind of close, so it's just like kind of evolving into something new now where we're supporting their guys' team and then their guys are supporting our team. That's cool. Like so cool. It's like not even weird now.
That's what I was gonna ask.
It's not weird now.
I was like, was that weird at some point or?
Gosh, I don't know.
I spit a line down the team, or I don't know how that worked.
So I feel like a lot of people know who I dated, so I don't even have to say his name.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if someone's listening to this, and they probably know you dated.
Yeah. But it was kind of interesting at first to see who would still like talk to me.
Oh, really? Did it go down ugly, or I don't know?
No, it didn't actually.
Okay.
It's really amicable.
Okay, that's good. I like hearing that.
Yeah. So I think there's so few people that are wondering, but no, we're not together.
There it is. Make it clear.
We're not together. Literally, I think another time, I think I had put up, like, trying to sell the church's money t-shirts on, like, my Instagram or Facebook, and someone, like, ordered through me, and she's like, okay, I'm just gonna ask, are you guys still together? And I was like, no, we're not. But it's okay. We're cool.
We're cool. And we're cool.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I'm confused right now. How do you see like it sounds like a big thing that you're trying to aim for is like just like same thing like normal, like just spread the awareness, grow the awareness of flag football in general for women. What do you like? What are some like applicable steps like to do that actually? Like, let's just say in San Diego, like to begin with, like I don't know if there's anything you see, like any opportunities to just make it more popular, like to bring awareness to it or what.
I think just networking, really, and just getting more people exposed to it. Hopefully, like, networking now with Louis.
Oh man, I love Louis. He's a cool cat.
Trying to put on like a women's tournament here in San Diego.
Are you talking about that?
Kind of talking about it. So we'll see if that comes into fruition. But I think like before, what's it called? I was trying to get my girls' team into like different leagues that weren't Vavi. So like there aren't rules in the league right now that say girls can't play. So I was trying to get like into like flight action or X-Flight, whatever. It just didn't work out that way. Okay. This time around for the league that already started, I know a few girls already are playing in flight action, and I don't know, is it X-Flag, right? X is still around.
Yeah.
I think I know like one girl that plays in flight
cool.
action. And there are a few girls here and there that play in flight action, so it's just like, well, can we play in tough?
Why not?
So yeah, definitely getting a few girls to play in tough this coming season.
That's
It'll
cool.
be
That's
interesting.
I was with Darius. He rode with me up there till later today. So he sent me that you, Colleen, and I was playing with Brandon. So that'd be cool, dude. That should be that'd be fun to see.
It'll be interesting. I think a lot of people are hating on us already.
Really?
Yeah.
How could you even hate on that?
I was just saying like, well, I want to play, and then the idea came, and we're just like, wait, well, this will be really interesting if we can just do it. So I just hit up D, Ariel, and Colleen. I was like, hey, you guys down? And they're all really competitive already. So they're like, yes, we're down.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, me
cool
too.
To see. What? Like, let's put the football aside right now. Like, what bigger goals, like, or different goals do you have, like, for your life in general? Like, I don't know, like you said, I don't know if you want to do more school, if, like, I just don't know, like, what kind of things you want to, like, really accomplish in life you're working to right now.
I definitely want, for me, physical therapy work is, like, I love it. It's my passion outside of flag football. I mean, they all also tie together, too. Yeah. So it's, like, I feel like I'm really lucky in that way. But definitely want to grow that into, like, a business. Because right now, people I work with are the older generations. I have a few kids here and there that I work with, but I want to kind of evolve that into like the flag football side and like helping, like I guess right now I'm helping my friends with their injuries.
Yes.
I mean, it's practice for me, which is really great, and then I get to take care of them, and it's like win-win situation.
It's beautiful.
Hopefully that grows, and I do want to go back to school to get my doctorate, because right now, being a PTA, we're not legally, I don't know why I did quotations, but we're not legally allowed to do like the first visit, like the evaluation or like the discharge, but that's like insurance stuff.
Okay.
But in general, like a physical therapist assistant knows everything a PT does. We just can't do certain things.
Legally can't do certain things.
Or like write it down on paper or whatever. Yeah. But we're supposed to know all the same tests.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like we're pretty much treating the patient the whole time. They're just signing off on what we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now that's a whole other thing where like people are fighting for PTAs to have more rights.
Okay.
But because that's limited, I do want to go back to school to get my doctorate. So it's like not so I don't have those limitations where I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So I can still treat like my friends and family, but it's I don't want to say it's frowned upon, but you're not really supposed to do it.
that black market physical therapy.
Yeah, pretty much under the table. You're still talking about it. But yeah, so definitely want to do that. But I mean, like student loans from getting my license in the first place are kind of like a damper in my little journey. But it's a long-term thing.
And we'll wrap it up with this, dude. It's been a while. Like what? Let's say I always try to ask this last question for most people. It's like, dude, looking back, let's say 80 years, 70 years, 100 years down the road, you look back on your life, like what would make you look back and be like, dude, like I enjoyed this life, like I did a good job, I took advantage of everything I was given, and like just make you look back and smile at like the life you lived. Like I don't know, like what certain accomplishments you want to say, like I did that, things you want to, certain places you want to see in the world, you want to have kids, family, I don't know, like just, what
That's a whole lot of
yeah
stuff.
It's like what could you look back at and look back on and smile on?
I want to look back and say that I took every opportunity that I wanted, or like that was given to me. I mean, before, I want to say my relationships held me back, but I always had that in the back of my mind, that like, oh, I don't want to move here, I don't want to do this because I'm going to be away from them, kind of thing. I guess I'm just that kind of girlfriend, I guess.
It's good.
But now that I feel like I'm being more selfish when I'm single now. Like I'm like, okay, like I don't have to worry about anyone. And like at this point in my life, I feel like I'll regret not taking every opportunity that's given to me. So later down the road, I'm like, hey, I got to do all these things.
And regret's scary, dude. Like that's like a scary thing in life when you look back. It's like, ah, man, I wish I would have done that. Yeah. Especially for not even like in a bad way, but for a relationship that didn't work out, or like or like for a silly fee or whatever it is. Like you could talk to older people and like they don't talk about the things they did, but they talk about the things they wish they would have done. I wish I was this business. I wish I would have taken this trip. Or,
yeah, I feel like a lot of decisions I made before would have been like a lot different if I wasn't being so considerate.
Well, that's cool though. I'm excited. Like you're being like, we have to be selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you can't love anybody else unless you love yourself first. So that makes you like your perfect whole self. Really, then you give your best unto others. It's like, I don't know if you like pursue any relationships right now. It's like not even on your mind. It's just like not even like you got everything else going on.
I feel like I'm not really trying to dive into anything. Yeah. But if it happens, it happens. I think before I was kind of like searching for it, but now like all these opportunities showed up, and I'm just like, I don't have to worry about anyone but myself. It sounds kind of like a dick move, but
no.
but no, I feel like if someone, I don't know.
If it happens, it happens, but it's not something you're searching out.
Right. There, it's a good nutshell.
Good stuff. I think we'll end with that, dude.
Okay.
Crushed it.
Yay! Thanks.
No, thank you, dude.